Hello, lovely, lovely Leos. Let's see what I have for you today. Um, I had a dream, and I had a dream, and I was on a train, right? And it was quite a fast train, kind of like a bullet train or like a Virgin train, so fairly modern. Actually, probably a little bit more modern than what a train would normally be like. It was like a future train, and I was on this train, and it was like a normal train. You can go up and down through the carriages. There was somebody with one of those trolleys, right, with selling drinks and things. Um, but the thing about it was when I got up and moved around, instead of just being long carriages, you could actually, it was like a multiple carriage train, but not as in terms of like a really long train, like the carriages side by side. So it was like a thick train with like carriages. It was just massive. So it was like, it had the normal like say like six carriages, but then another six next to it and another six next to it. So instead of just being able to go through the carriages this way, you could also go this way, right? So you could go through the different trains. Just like a really wide train on like several tracks. So and I don't know, it's just really strange. So I don't really understand the meaning of that dream, but take it if it's relevant to you. You run with it. You run with that, whatever that is. Um, I've just got on my notes. One huge train. Um, then I got the song. I can't remember who it is. It's like it might be Kylie or Jason Donovan or somebody like that. But I will look it up. All the songs that come through will be in the description box down below for you. But it's the song. This is it. Oh, this time my love is the real thing. I can't explain what I'm feeling. I'm lost for words. I don't remember any more words. I'm literally lost for words. What are the words to the song? So yeah. So somebody could be feeling that way. I'm definitely getting some kind of partnership here, which you did have coming through in your last reading as well. So it's quite nice. I like it. I'm Libra. I want everybody to get married. So let's see, what else have I got? I've got strength, the strength within. Okay, finding the strength within, finding the inner lion, finding confidence inside yourself. So, being very patient, being very composed, and being very compassionate. It's almost like when you find that inner confidence, then you can't be ruffled anymore. You don't need to roar anymore because you've got this kind of like tranquility. So your card's the sun card in the tarot, but it's also the strength card. It's literally got a lion on it. So looking at this, it's like somebody who gives you strength, somebody who keeps you calm. It's almost like she's massaging his head there, right? It's like it could be the feminine side within you, whatever this is for you, right? Finding an inner tranquility, so that you don't get ruffled, you don't get insecure, you don't get like the outer world can't affect you because your inner world is so strong. So either this is going to be the journey that comes out for you when we start to pull cards, or there's a connection that's doing this for you, or it's just something you're working on. Confidence is a key theme of Leo. So things can hurt your confidence, your pride quite easily. You really kind of care about what people think about you quite often, or you may take things to heart, or people say Leo has quite a fragile ego. Literally she's like stroking his head. It's like the need to stroke Leo's ego or the need to kind of like be careful not to kind of upset Leo's sensitive side. So you may not see yourself like that. I don't think Leos tend to see themselves like that, but it'd be interesting to ask your friends and family if they sometimes see you like that, Leo. I've got a question, do you seek approval from others or validation? So I saw a stage, and the question kind of came to me, what happens when you're on your own? So this comes back actually in the songs that came through for your reading. So Leo, sort of that the normal kind of stereotypical Leo energy is somebody who likes to be the center of attention, very, quite happy to be on the stage, being loud, entertaining everybody else. Again, depending on your placements, there's more introverted Leos. It depends on your full chart, right? But what's coming through is like and it can be insecurity as well. The flip side of this Leo confidence energy is insecurity. So it could come through either as being very overconfident for you or absolutely like insecure. So whichever way works for you, right? If you really ask yourself, if you really take a deep delve inwards, do you attention seek? Do you and it can be the pursuit of praise as well. I've been talking about sort of like North and South nodes and Lilith signs as well, and I'm sort of getting that here as well, where it's like this could be someone's kind of crutch, that they feel uncomfortable in the limelight, or that they I'm going to do a specific series. I'm going to do a series on Lilith and North and South nodes, but it's like something to do with like whether or not you're deserving of praise, whether you're deserving of like the limelight, whether you're deserving of praise and attention, feeling uncomfortable with it, but also this kind of like this approval seeking behavior of like trying to impress people, trying to prove yourself to other people, when really you just need to prove yourself to yourself and find that inner self-acceptance. So validation was something that came through, as a word that came through. So there's something there for somebody. What happens when you're on your own, Leo? If you are on your own for a week, right? No, or you know, on your own for a day, there's nobody else around, you've turned off all your devices, you're on your own. If you look in the mirror, do you like yourself? Are you comfortable in your own presence, or do you need someone else there to validate you or to reassure you? So this is kind of the questions that's being asked of Leo at the moment. Now, don't worry, your reading is actually taking a huge upward swing here. So as I was tuning into the energy and I was asking for things to come through, I was asking for images and I didn't actually get any images. But what I did get is, I get this from time to time. It's a tingling sensation on my lips. It feels like I'm being kissed. It's like a pleasant tingling sensation or pressure on my lips. So I was like, okay, is this a love interest for Leo? What's going on here? So a loving energy, somebody who wants to touch you in a pleasant way. Like I'm just looking at like the girl stroking the lion's head. The song that you got was Go Your Own Way by Fleetwood Mac. And I got a few different things from this. So either you are releasing somebody, you can go your own way. You may have been trying to offer your hand to somebody, not literally like getting married, but you know, you've been trying to offer support to somebody. You've been trying to be there for somebody, but they are not seeing it or they're rejecting it. So it's like, you're like, I'm here if you need me, but I'm releasing you. You know, you can go your own way. Or Leo, this is you going your own way. So two different ways it's coming through. The first way, if I could, now I don't know if this is somebody saying this to you and you're just not accepting it, or if this is you saying it to somebody else, but if I could, I'd give you my world, but how can I when you won't take it from me? Open up, right? So there's something here to do with allowing yourself to be nurtured and loved, opening up and letting someone in, letting someone love you. I don't know which version this is for you. You could be the person trying to give the love, or who needs to open up and allow yourself to be loved and appreciated, right? Funnily enough, after I wrote that, the next song that came on was Personal Jesus by Depeche Mode. I can't pronounce it. Someone who cares, someone to hear your prayers, your own personal Jesus. Feeling unknown and you're all alone, right? It's coming through again, this thing that I picked up where it's like, what happens when you're alone, Leo? Feeling unknown and you're all alone. So is there something within you where you're not happy on your own? You need somebody to know you. I think of me A Christmas Carol, a Muppets Christmas Carol. Come in and know me better, man. Things on your chest you need to confess. So is there something you need to confess? Do you just need someone to talk to? Do you need someone to who you can confide in? Do you need your own personal Jesus, right? Or are you trying to be this for somebody else? It's like, open up, talk to me. I'm here for you. I'm here to hear your confession. Something about confessing to a friend. So also I kind of looked up the meaning of that song just to kind of like see if there's anything else there. I looked it up on, see, my throat's closing up because someone needs to confess, right? But I opened it up Genius Lyrics and looked up the kind of the story behind the song, and apparently Gore, is he called, the guy who wrote it, he said that he was reading a book about Elvis Presley, and I think it was written by Priscilla Presley, and these were the words that Priscilla used to describe Elvis, like their relationship. She said he was her own personal Jesus, someone who cares, right? So yeah, allowing yourself to be nurtured and loved, or you're dealing with somebody who needs to open up and allow you to help them. Another version of this that's coming through for somebody, I'm literally getting Simba, and I was getting it because I'm doing fairy tales. Okay, thank you. I am recording. Okay. That's my son. He's fed the cat. Funnily enough, as I'm about to talk about a lion. But I was looking at the lion, and I'm doing fairy tales, and I was thinking, the Lion King, right? Simba. But then it was confirmed for me because in Go Your Own Way, if you listen to it, there's a drum beat, and it sounds a little bit like African drums to me. I may be wrong on that one, but the way I was seeing it was those big kind of barrel drums, those sideways drums, and the big like the padded drumsticks, big padded drumsticks, and it makes like a kind of muffled, dull, like low booming sound. So that's kind of what I was seeing. I don't know if that's relevant to anybody, but it was just giving me Lion King again. So if I could, I'd give you my world, but how can I when you won't take it from me? I was almost getting that this was the relationship between Simba and Simba's dad. So he's there saying, this is my kingdom, you're going to inherit it from me, but how can I when you won't take it from me? It's like Simba's almost saying, no, I need to go on my own journey, I need to be my own person. The drum beat was symbolising for me following your own drum beat, hearing a call, dancing to the rhythm of your own drum, right? And kind of going out on a journey where you have to kind of explore the world and figure things out for yourself and make your own friends. So he goes out, and I was sort of seeing Timon and Pumbaa. He makes this kind of like weird, these weird companions. It's like a strange, they're not really his people who he grew up with, right? They're not, they've had different life experiences, so they come together and as this kind of band of merry men almost. So there's something there. So it's like not wanting to follow in your father's footsteps until you've gone out and explored the world, and then you can go back and claim your rightful kingdom. This is kind of how it's coming through, and it sounds a bit bizarre, but I have been picking up this as a theme in a couple of my readings so far. I don't know if it's one of the readings that I posted online. I did 2 Tell Me Anything readings, random readings, and I actually did one before those that was off camera, that was literally about somebody's father passing away. I may just post it. I was a bit uncomfortable and I wasn't sure if I was reading it correctly, but I might just post it anyway, and people can take it if it's relevant or leave it if it's not. But yeah, you can go your own way, be your own person, not following in your father's footsteps possibly, but going out and making your own, learning about who you are as a person on the inside rather than what people are trying to put on you. But it may be that you go full circle and come back to it in the end anyway, naturally, right? Maybe it's your destiny, but you had to find your own way. Oh look, it's a train. Talking about trains. Confidence. Oh, there you go. Like maybe that is for you. Confidence, it comes with time and practice. So maybe you needed to hear that. Okay, so Leo, lovely Leo. Oh, we need to get you a song, don't we? We need to get you a song on camera. Sorry, I'm just pulling up Spotify. I paused while I was pulling up Spotify, but I was just kind of running through things in my head. And this thing about confessing over a telephone. And I was saying that, there's something going on with like a father, an inheritance. If that's your situation, And I don't want to scare anyone. I feel like it's a specific person, so it's not going to be for all Leos, so you'll know if it's your story. Is there somebody here whose father or a father figure is passing away? So maybe uncle, grandparent is passing away. They're literally on their deathbed, because when you're on your deathbed, you need to confess. So if you are dealing with somebody like that, they may have something to tell you over the phone, or you may have to confess something to them over the phone before it's too late, because if you miss your chance, you may regret it. So oh my goodness, I'm getting like a pain here, like a pressing pinprick almost pain. So there may be a conversation then that needs to be had if that's your situation. Okay, sorry to get completely distracted there. The cat empire as well. What, like, cats all over this reading, right? My son's talking about feeding my cat. This was the song that randomized yesterday. I think for Cancer. I don't know, I've done that many readings this week. Okay. I'm also looking at the crown shape, right, of the eyelashes of this cat, and then the crown shape here. So I really feel like something to do with like inheritance, or like, it's like kingship, but obviously people aren't really kings normally these days. So take it as it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. Leo, we're doing general reading for Leo, please. General reading for Leo. What does Leo need to hear? The best song for Leo, please, if you can bother randomizing. Ah, technical issues. Bloody Mercury in retrograde, hey. Give me a second. Okay, we're kind of back in business. Oh, Mercury in retrograde, oh my god. So I've been fiddling with it. So Young God by Halsey has come up. I've not got the image up because something's going on with the internet. Even though it says it's got a full connection, it's also saying it's got no connection. So yeah, literally Mercury in retrograde, go figure. So let's get you a song. Hopefully, if we try this again on camera, you can take Young God if you like, but I've not specifically randomized it for you. So Leo, 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 a song for Leo. General reading. Mambo number 5. What? Right, I do not know what's going on. They are the exact 2 songs that came on. Just to kind of show you, I am on shuffle. Oh, no, it's being stupid again. I am on shuffle here. But it decided not to shuffle and to play the exact 2 songs that played for Aries. So, God's sake, this is just turning into an absolute poop show. Let's be honest here. Search, please. Can I get back to what I was on? I'm going to use Discover Weekly because I want to get you a fresh randomized song. I don't know why it's just repeating the Aries songs. I don't know if you've got an Aries placement or you're dealing with an Aries, but take it if it's appropriate or just completely leave it. But let's get you a song from Discover Weekly and see what we get for you here. Oh, hopefully I won't get any copyright strikes for that. Misfit by Amy Student. So I'm going to listen to that off camera because I don't know that song, and see what it says. I don't know if you want to go and have a look at that song yourself. Misfit Amy Student. And see if it's relevant to you at all. Just thinking of like Timon and Pumbaa. They were kind of like the Misfits, weren't they? Amy Student. Right, I'm gonna gather my. I'm gonna be that calm lion with the equilibrium, the inner balance, and then I'm gonna listen to this song off camera to get the gist of it. I'm gonna pull you some cards. I don't know how I feel about that song. It's a little bit empowering. It's a bit like, yeah, call me a misfit, fine. I am who I am. I accept who I am. I wouldn't want to be you anyway. But at the same time, she is being quite judgmental of the other people. She's calling them a bit shallow. So I'm getting a little bit like, don't judge other people if you don't want to be judged yourself. Like, it's okay. If they want to go and be a certain way, it's okay. If you want to go and be a different way, it's okay. So I'm a little bit ruffled because I just want everybody to get along and just accept each other. So I don't like that kind of like, I'm making myself feel better by putting you down. I don't like that, to be quite frank. But also, if you look at it from a different angle, and this is what I think you're doing, Leo, and I think you're very, very clear on what you don't want to do. You don't want to follow in the footsteps of others. You're not playing follow the leader here. You're going to be the leader of your own life. And if that means you have to be a bit of a misfit and kind of start your own tribe, you know, the lions, the male lions, there tends to only be one male lion in a tribe, and they kind of like the others go off and they start their own families. So there could be something about going off and starting your own friendship group or family here, you know, something that's more authentically you. So are you going up, setting up house with Timon and Pumbaa? Leo, is that what's going on for you? Right then. Okay. Just stretching and things. I'm just getting into Leo energy. I'm like, oh, I'm so gorgeous. Sorry, Leos. Right, I've got Leo rising. So yeah, I'm learning to embrace my Leo rising. Here we go. Whoa, okay, you've got two things. Voyage. You already have all the answers. You already have all the answers you need. Just again, looking there, that's North and South America she's looking at there. And over here is this, that looks like China, Russia, India, Australia. You already have all the answers. So I don't know if there's something relevant there for you as well. I don't know if you've got Cancer placement or you're dealing with the Cancer, but Mermaids came out strongly for Cancerians there. She's ignoring it though. She's not looking at it, which is interesting. Protest starts a revolution. Oh, I don't like, I mean, I believe in making changes. I believe in standing together as a group to make important changes, to be heard. I don't like when it boils over to like actual revolutions though. I think about like the French Revolution. You know, there's a lot of bloodshed that comes with that kind of, you know, that kind of thing. Revolution is not always good. Again, that's my Libra side coming out, my kind of peacemaker, like wanting everybody to get along, seeing both sides of a story, wanting people to get along, wanting tranquility. The idea of like a major revolution is just it's too much drama for me. I'm like, no, can we just make plans? Can we just make an agreement here? Definitely what they called, I can't think of the right word for it. I'm a man alike for peace and war, but I definitely prefer peace. Right, okay, let's see then. What have you got? Voyage. It's not about me. Why am I talking about myself? It's because I'm in my Leo energy, all right? It's all about me today. Me. Right, okay, let's have a look. You already have all the answers. You've been feeling lost for a while now, wandering through your life aimlessly. Simba. Searching everywhere for meaning and never coming up with anything of substance. That's the problem. You keep searching for answers outside of yourself, literally. Like, this is what I was saying. It's like going within, like being at peace with who you are inside is what matters here, when all the answers can be found within. If you take the time to look, you need a spiritual mentor. And at this point, you need your own personal Jesus. I can't make this up. You saw those cards come out. And at this point in your life, that person needs to be you. You need to be your own personal Jesus. Like I can't make it up. Like, that is crazy. Right. See what I mean? I'm just the tarot card reader. I just pull the cards, and it surprises me sometimes when you get these kind of synchronicities. I'm like, it excites me. I'm like, yay, it makes sense. Right. 28 then. Protest, start a revolution. Yes, as you're going off starting your own tribe. You've been looking around and noticing that the world is often unjust, but you're not sure what to do about it. Like Katniss, you need to be the first spark of your own revolution. Educate yourself, stand up for yourself, and don't forget to stand up for others, whether or not you have shared experiences. If you can speak up and do so safely, right keyword, then do it. So this doesn't mean necessarily putting other people down. I think that's what I was getting from that song. This doesn't necessarily mean knocking things down in order to rebuild, but it's more about speaking up and being heard, making sure that everybody's voice matters. Very democratic, right? So there could be some kind of situation where you feel like some people aren't being listened to, or some people are being treated unfairly. And you want to give these people a voice, and sometimes you need to be the spokesperson for these people. It's funny because that's kind of what I was getting through, but I couldn't think of the word for it. Advocate, maybe. Advocate, yes, that's the word I was looking for before, and I couldn't quite get it. So somebody who, like an interpreter or an advocate, like the go-between, the person who represents other people, but then actually speaks to the people who are in power or making the decisions, in order to make sure everybody hears each other and understands both sides, right? Because it's not that one person's right and one person's wrong. It may just be the people up in this tower don't have anyone who can communicate what these people are saying to them. If you imagine like a king, right? The normal everyday people, they're not going to be able to readily understand what's going on with them. They're going to get an overview from their advisors, who are also probably posh. So it's like you may be in a position here where you can go between these like two different groups, right? Some kind of group that's in power and some kind of group that's on the ground down below. And it may be that the group that are in power may genuinely not understand why the common people, if you like, are upset. So it may be that you're the person who can kind of say, this is what these people want, this is what you can do to make this better. There's something like that there with that. But you have the answers within you. So both of these talk about looking for answers outside of yourself, but looking at the world, searching for something, seeing everything that's wrong with the world. But how I was talking about the lion there, and how I was saying about it's like you are your own personal Jesus or something, or it could be someone else for you. It's like learning to love yourself, learning to be confident with who you are, learning to accept yourself, especially any kind of like weirdness, right? We all have a weird side. So embrace your weird side. I embrace your identity, find confidence from within, and then use your voice to speak up and advocate for other people in some kind of way. This is you're the princess in your own story. This is what you're doing. So who are you going to meet along the way? Who are you going to meet on your journey? The stingray. Okay, seeing the whale underneath there. I don't know if that's relevant to anyone either. That's taking a really deep dive into your shadow side and resurfacing, coming back up for air. Excuse me, the stingray. So the stingray, I'm just going to take a second with this card. Okay, what I'm getting from the stingray today, they're very, very balanced. They've really got that inner tranquility going for them. If you look at the kind of the chakra colours lit up along its spinal cord there. So this is somebody who has that inner equilibrium, that inner balance, that kind of inner peace, inner zen. But the stingray, I always think they kind of like fly under the radar. They kind of really, they take that deep dive like the whale, and they kind of go under the radar unnoticed. They glide, they move through situations easily. What are they showing me? This is somebody who can move through. It's like quite stealthy, or it's somebody who's a bit of a chameleon. They kind of blend in well, or they go unnoticed. So it's somebody who has a natural ability to go into a crowd perhaps, or to go into different situations, but to go in unnoticed. Like the grey man. It's almost like the grey man. Very balanced, very calm, in and out kind of energy, like unruffled. Now the interesting thing is there's no such thing as coincidence when it comes to this. This morning my daughter was watching, she really likes animals, she really likes biology, wildlife, these kinds of things. So she was watching a series on YouTube, and I'm sorry I don't know who it is, but it's somebody who's a little bit like Steve Irwin, and they go and kind of, the channel educates about wild animals. And I was thinking to myself about Steve Irwin, because I think in this video that she was watching, he was petting a jaguar. He was like stroking a jaguar or something. And I was thinking, well, that's a really bad idea. I don't want this person teaching my daughter to go stroking jaguars, because that's how you lose a hand, basically. And I was thinking about Steve Irwin and how he had a lot of narrow escapes, and ultimately, I think it was a stingray that got him, right? Was he like harpooned by the stingray's tail? It's like assassin, like that feels like, I'm definitely, just to be super clear, I am not condoning assassination or like anything like that. Again, it could just be someone is playing Hitman. But it's like the computer game Hitman, there's a new version of it out, so somebody could just be playing that. But I think we're talking symbolic here. So this is somebody who can go in, deliver a bit of a blow, and then move back out again. So I don't know if this is a friend or a foe, quite frankly, to you, but we'll find out. So can I get something about Leo's journey, their fairy tale. What's the kind of moral of the fairy tale? What lesson are they learning, please? I'm using Kim Cran's archetype deck for this one. What is Leo's lesson, please, here? This deck's been a bit tricky with me. What is the lesson here for Leo, please? Okay, you've got 2 cards. You would, Leo. You're being very difficult. Oh, I love the Eternal Child. That's one of my favourite cards. And the comic as well. I really love the comic. You've got Leo. Do you want a long video? You're going to get one at this rate. Okay, you've got the comic, the riddle, and the womb. The riddle is something that can't be answered. There's no answer to this question that you're asking. The more you try to understand something, the more you tie yourself in knots. It's something that is never meant to be untangled. It's never meant to be understood. You just have to accept. You have to accept the mystery. I'm not going to read from the book because I kind of know the meaning of that card. Actually, do you know what? I will. I'll read them all to you. You may have a riddle about something that's planted in your mind. It's gestating in your mind, like a womb, but it's like a brain nugget and something, an idea, a plan, something. Something's planted a seed in your mind, and you've been trying to figure something out, but it's like there's no answer to this question. And then the comic. Oh, this comic card. Look at it with the sad little eyes. It's this talks about people who are comedians often. While they're very funny and they're very amusing to be around, sort of Robin Williams is a kind of perfect example of this. Robbie Williams too, has a very comic persona. A lot of the time they are also battling addictions or shadow energy underneath that. There's a lot of comedians also battle with depression, and it's because humor is a catharsis. When we laugh at the things that scare us, or we laugh at the things that hurt us, we take some of the power back. So that's why when there's a disaster or when there's something awful that happens politically, people start to make jokes about it online very, very quickly. And sometimes people can get quite ruffled by that. They can get quite angered by it. But I think that's not understanding that sometimes people who are hurt by these things, people who are really quite injured, quite wounded by what they see online, what they see going on in society, they will not be able to cope. They will not be able to survive unless they make the jokes. I understand this energy because it's very much my own energy. I will make jokes about the worst things because it's a catharsis for me. It's how I cope with it. So you could be doing this, or you could be dealing with people who do this. I'm not sure. This could be something you're learning to do or learning to understand. Let's have a quick look. So the comic. The Joker, the Clown, the Fool. Oh my God, that's what it is. I just got it. I just understood what they were giving me. You know how I was talking about somebody who can go between the regular people, common people, the kind of the masses, but they can also have the king's ear. The comic, right? The Fool, that's exactly what they do. So if you look at King Lear, for example, it's the fool that is the companion and probably the best advisor that the king has in his worst time of need. I'm thinking of other ones as well. Oh, it's such an iconic character in early modern history, and I just can't for the life of me. Feste as well, the jester in Twelfth Night. He can just talk to anybody. He can go wherever he wants to do. He's a musician, a performer. He speaks to the kind of nobles in the land, but he hangs out with everybody's pretty noble in Twelfth Night, but they have that ability, right, to pass between the two different worlds. It's like if you've got something to deliver to somebody, if you've got information to give, you give it in a comic way because it takes the edge off. I'm thinking about Henry VIII as well. Henry VIII had a very famous court jester who I think had to deliver the information that his child was a girl and not a boy, and it's like nobody wanted to give King Henry VIII that information because he tended to have such a bad temper, right? Nobody wanted to lose the heads. So it was always the job of the jester to do it because the jester delivered it in a very human way, a very comic way, a way that kind of softens the blow. So it's something about softening the blow or having the king's ear, whoever the king represents, right, in your reading. Okay, let's try and get on with this because we're 34 minutes in already. The comic carries a remedy for all that ails this world. Amid the deepest pain and suffering, there is always the potential to lift up and out of darkness through laughter. Don't get too serious. Don't take things too seriously. Keep that sense of humour alive, okay? So if you feel yourself getting upset, if you feel yourself getting angry, tune into your sense of humour about it. Tune into the inner comic, because that's what's going to keep you balanced. That's what's going to give you strength. That's what this is. Okay. Amid the deepest pain and suffering, there is always the potential to lift up and out of the darkness through laughter. Though dismissed by some as lowbrow or unsophisticated, this archetype actually has a highly advanced mind. Some may even use the word genius, as humour requires one to see the situation from afar rather than to be swept away by the drama. The comic sees and accepts the messiness of life, using it as material to be mixed and shaped into a potion to soothe the stressed and serious mind. So this is one of my favourite cards. They literally lighten us up. Thus, within the comic is usually the sage or the magician, working healing magic upon any audience who will lend an ear. The comic may be the archetype that heals the deep division in the world, one pun at a time. For somebody, though, there could be something here about when you have an audience and you can be the comic and you can lighten the mood, like lightening the mood of others, you feel like you have a service to the world. But when you're on your own and you don't have an audience, you don't have anyone to entertain, that could be when the darkness finds you. Very much like Robin Williams, right? So if you are struggling with that kind of darkness, depression, do make sure you go and seek help from whichever source is appropriate for you. And if you've already tried accessing certain services and it hasn't worked for you, keep going with it. Keep go back and tell them it hasn't worked, or go and try a different service, but don't give up. Every tomorrow is the opportunity for something new to come in that you didn't expect. Something new, your life can change at a moment's notice, and there may be something that's going to happen tomorrow that's going to make everything better. And if it's not tomorrow, it might be the day after, but keep going. So absolutely reach out to some kind of service or a friend. Again, like that kind of like your own personal Jesus, the telephone, like ringing someone up and confessing. It could be like ringing up an advice line, a helpline like the Samaritans. You may want to actually volunteer for a service like the Samaritans, which is a mental health, it's people who you can just talk to. It's strangers who you can talk to. You can tell them anything. You can confess anything because they're strangers. So it doesn't matter if they judge you or not because they don't know you personally, right? So there could be something there for somebody. Okay, the riddle. The puzzle, the question, the mystery. When the riddle is present, one must stop searching for the right answer. It cannot be found, and ultimately it's not important. Rather, there must be a shift from the literal to the metaphorical, from logic to mythic. You are thinking too small and literally about the situation. The riddle card appears when the energy is deep and mysterious, like the elusive wisdom in a Zen koan. Zen, Koan. Focusing harder won't do it. Neither will increased effort. Time and surrender and humour are your only allies. No way does it say humour, right? So whatever this is, right, whatever's driving you mad, right, whatever's got you going in circles, and again, it could be a pattern for you because this is your journey. Time, surrender and humour. Surrender the situation, let go. Okay, and not let go of life, obviously. Let go of the situation that's bothering you. This puzzle does not have to be solved right now. It's not the right time. So scrutinizing it any further is not going to do you any good. It's just going to tie you in knots. Let it go. Have a sense of humour about it. What feels like the most pressing dilemma won't reveal its deeper wisdom for a long time. Eventually, you'll learn a profound lesson from the riddle. For now, get comfortable with the limitations of your intellect and the reality of not knowing. It may, in fact, be the only reality there is. If you have a Scorpio placement, that is going to drive you crazy. Anyone with a Scorpio placement, Scorpio, they want to solve riddles, like... It's like you won't get that out of your head if you've got a Scorpio placement. Like that is going to drive a Scorpio absolutely batty. So you're going to have to really, really work on that sense of humour if you've got Scorpio in your chart. Yeah, it's not the right time. You're not meant to know. Sometimes life is a mystery for a reason. Sometimes we're not meant to have all the answers. Sometimes the universe is trying to surprise us. So there's no point worrying about something if the answer is not readily available. Just know that there will be a time when you can relook at it and it'll make sense. It's like, if you ever, like, like, say for Christmas, you pull a Christmas cracker and you get one of those like puzzles inside, and you can do it and do it and do it and do it and do it, and you can be like really annoyed. You can be like, I can't do this puzzle, it's driving me crazy. And then a kid might come over and go, boo. Or you might get drunk and just go, oh, I've done it. It's like almost like when you give up, or when you stop overthinking it, and when you stop obsessing over it, the answer comes more easily. So my video cut out. So the womb, the nest, the belly, the origin. Everything has an origin story. The womb archetype asks us to contemplate the beginning beyond the beginning, the mother beyond the mother. In a world that often negates the power and necessity of feminine principles, this card returns us to the warmth, tenderness, and sacred intelligence from which we came. It's a card of receiving, not achieving, of accepting love from the mother of all of us. Excuse me, I just burped. She is the life-giving force that forgives and cherishes, even the most wounded and disparate soul. No matter how lost you are, the womb awaits your return to help you heal and grow. The card is a call to keep things simple. Keep things simple. Keep it simple, Leo. To return, to be reborn in the name of love. The womb is everywhere. It is beyond gender, beyond time. We are within it, and it is within us. Okay? So it does say to look at Gustave Courbet's The Origin of the World there. Okay, so honour the feminine inside you. So don't worry too much about gender roles here. She, he, they. You can, we all carry feminine and masculine energy within us. I'm not trying to stereotype at all. But when it talks about feminine energy, it's talking about like yin energy, being passive, not being aggressive, allowing things to come to you, having unconditional love, being very open to new experiences, and also emotionally open as well. So again, I don't mean to gender stereotype. It's more about the energy. It's just words. So everyone has this energy within them, unconditional love and release, and not trying to control a situation. I am picking up somebody could definitely have Scorpio placement. Right, okay, so tell me about Voyage and Protest. So this is about you being the prince or princess in your own story, or the hero, right? The protagonist of your own fairy story. You need to achieve some sort of balance here. I think you're trying to balance out your inner world and your outer world. What you feel is right inside, and what you see is wrong on the outside, almost. And then you've got this Six of Pentacles, which also talks about balance. So 2 cards about balance. You want things to be fair, and you want things to be equal. You want, for example, you know, if you had 2 kids, you'd want them to have the same amount of pocket money, right? You want things to be shared equally. It feels very diplomatic. That's the word I was going for before as well. Diplomacy. Diplomacy and democracy, I think, are important here to this situation. So you are learning to have this kind of equal give and take, equal fair and share, like knowing your own self-worth and believing in yourself, and finding the answers from within you rather than looking externally, and also not trying to fix the world, not trying to fix all the problems of the world when perhaps you have your own healing to do as well. It's very much looking inwards and looking outwards and finding the balance energy. So Daughter of Cups, so this could symbolize some sort of apology that you may need to make to somebody, but the Daughter of Cups is normally coming forward with some sort of offering of friendship or affection, or maybe you're doing this to somebody else. It's like you want to help. I think you see people or situations outside of you that aren't fair, and you want to offer your help. This rainbow here symbolizes healing energy and also inclusivity, right? Yeah, you just really want things to be fair and equal and inclusive. And you want to help. You want to help with that. It feels quite philanthropic. Okay. The Daughter of Cups, though, she is the youngest of the Cups family. So there is an aspect of naivety with it, of vulnerability, of having young emotions that need to be explored to really mature. So there may be some kind of childishness within you, some kind of immature reaction to something, again, which just means that you have to do some self-reflection here and some inner work, possibly some inner healing before you can go on and save the day, right? There's an emotional immaturity about a situation. Tell me about the stingray then. Who's the stingray? Oh, okay, well, that definitely tells us something, doesn't it? The Lovers card. So could be a Gemini, but this could be a love interest for you. This is yeah, the Lovers card is the Lovers card. This is somebody who is choosing, if they're not your personal Jesus, if they're not your personal lover or a love interest for you, again, this could be somebody you've not met yet. This could also just be a character, a person who has a huge amount of inner balance, which is obviously something you can learn about because this is what you're working towards. Really seeing all the rainbow colours here today as well. So it could definitely be something about identity there, perhaps sexual identity. But this is like, oh, sorry, they just gave me birds of a feather flock together. So there you go, something there for somebody. Teaming up with somebody, this could be part of the group that you're trying to support. They could also support you. It's, you know, you're wanting the equal give and take here, vice versa. The Lovers card is Gemini energy. It's also this person with this huge amount of balance who just glides through situations. It's like then the feathers aren't ruffled. This is what you're learning to do. This person may prioritize love. The Lovers card used to be called the choice, and it means choosing love, choosing to open your heart space, choosing to act with that unconditional love that you're searching for, right? That you need to look inwards for. So I feel like this person could teach you a lot. Okay, so let's go to your journey then. Tell me more about this journey. So having a sense of humour about the darker aspects of life, understanding that you don't have to know all the answers, that's what's going to bring you your happiness. There you go, 10 of Cups, happiness. I've seen the Emperor there, so it could be dealing with a boss, a father figure, an authority figure. You could be moving into Emperor energy, which is like all 4 Kings of the Tarot. But I see this as somebody else because you're showing as kind of like this duckling energy, so you'd have to be all 4 Kings of the Tarot before you get into Emperor energy. So I think this is like an authority figure, a father, you know, the status quo for you. But yeah, the 10 of Cups. So this is yeah, this is happiness, but it's happiness shared, right? There's a lot of cups there. Happiness shared with other people. I really feel like this some sort of group or community that's very, very important to you, especially in terms of your identity, flocking together, coming together because you've got shared experiences, coming together because you your souls match, right? It's your community, it's your tribe. And then there's all this kind of like equal fair and share, equal give and take. Everybody's giving to everybody else in this situation. It's really quite beautiful. It doesn't matter which way around I put it, right? It's the same either way. Happiness is happiness. Happiness is happiness is happiness. So you're on a happiness journey and you need to find that with other people. It's not something you're meant to do alone, but you do have to do that inner work in order to be of service to other people. I feel I'm gonna leave that Emperor upright there. I haven't got one of my decks out, which may be for a reason, because we've talked a lot and I've got another deck. You've got an extra deck actually that I was called to use. So okay, so let's keep going. Tell me about this. Tell me about the Daughter of Cups energy. Tell me more about the Daughter of Cups energy. The High Priestess. Interestingly enough, underneath this Emperor is the High Priestess. You may, this person could be Taurus or Aries for you. Again, you got those Aries songs. High Priestess is tends to be Scorpio energy. So interesting. You could be dealing with possibly mother and father here. A mother who's very intuitive. A father who's very grounded, very traditional. Take that if it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. I feel like it's a bit of a side message for somebody. But the High Priestess here. So tell me about the connection, please, between the Daughter of Cups and the High Priestess. 6 of Pentacles. Look, 6 of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles. I'm getting mother-child here. So there's something that you're healing, possibly from childhood, in regards to some kind of mother figure in your life. It doesn't have to be mother. It can be, again, it could be boss, auntie, grandmother. But you've got this card here that talks about this feminine energy. So it could be that you're dealing with, again, I'm getting different stories, so take anything that's relevant, take however it feels right to you to take it, and leave it if it doesn't, because it's somebody else's story. So I'm getting here that there could be a situation from childhood where you weren't treated fairly. Again, I was talking about pocket money, right? You think that everybody should get the same amount of pocket money, but you can see here this person's getting 3 pentacles, this person's getting 2 pentacles, and she's keeping 1 pentacle for herself. So it's like this present's much bigger and heavier than this one that's smaller. It's not equal. So you want some kind of equality because you weren't treated fairly in childhood. Perhaps you felt like the child who wasn't as loved as the other child, something like this, which has caused emotional inner wounding. If that's not your story, there's another version of this that I'm seeing. So the High Priestess is very, very intuitive. So we are talking about you here. Who are you in this story? And I was talking about getting that inner balance, that inner equilibrium, right? So it could be that part of your journey as the protagonist here is to look in the mirror, look at where you feel emotionally immature, do some work on yourself, on your inner emotions, inner feelings, in order to have that tranquility. People say about swans, this is like a baby swan, right? Or is it a duckling? I don't know. People say about swans, they glide gracefully like this stingray, but the feet are paddling like mad underneath. So it's about not showing how hard you're struggling. So maybe you've not shown how hard you're struggling. Or maybe you want to be graceful, and balanced as you glide through life, because the High Priestess has that. She's the most powerfully intuitive, the person most in touch with her emotions in the whole of the tarot. So I feel like there's some kind of like maturing, some emotional maturing that you're doing in regards to having a balance of emotions, in regards to some external situation where you can see some kind of something is unfair in terms of tangible resources. So you may see that some people get more of a payout from the government than other people, or you may see there's some kind of division of the assets that isn't fair. So you're being called to be emotionally balanced about this situation and to see the funny side. Like the answers you seek aren't coming right now, so you have to be very emotionally strong and emotionally balanced. Don't look for external things to provide that inner balance that you seek. It comes from within you, and it's having unconditional love for yourself. Okay, I hope that's not an easy thing to do. It's not like you're just going to wake up tomorrow and be like, oh, I love myself now. Yeah, I am the High Priestess now. It's not like that. It's again Scorpio energy, so I was picking up on that before. But it's about this is your process. You're the protagonist in a fairy tale story, right? It's not going to happen overnight. There's going to be trials and tribulations. You're going to be tested. The tests that come in are all lessons disguised as obstacles, right? They're coming in to make you stronger. So every time you deal with something and survive, you're stronger. You've learnt lessons. Okay, it's all forging you into this better version of yourself. So rather than seeing things as obstacles, or maybe I'm sorry to say this, but Cancer yesterday we're getting a lot of stuff about kind of almost like having a victim mentality where things happen to them. It's like, this happened to me and it wasn't fair. And it's about changing that mindset and being like, almost like, I mean, it sounds ridiculous when you first come to it, but it's like, universe, thank you for sending me this challenge. I know that you're sending it me for a reason, because you're trying to make me stronger. I accept your challenge. I'm going to do this with grace. So it's very difficult to change. Like I'm approaching 40. I'm 38 now. So if I've been conditioned to act a certain way or have a certain behavior system all my life, to come to 38 and be like, I'm going to change the way I look at this, it's difficult, right? You're not going to undo however many years you've been alive of programming, of conditioning, of behavior patterns overnight. It's a continual process. Stop waffling, woman. I want to know about this lovers card. Stingray and the lovers. Oh, this person's slow moving, but they've got a plan. They're slow moving. They're very, very solid, very grounded, very dependable. Yeah, this, I feel like this person could be some kind of like almost role model or teacher for you, or just a supportive friend. You may not share a home with this person. It may be somebody who's not currently in your community, with the Four of Wands in reverse. It's somebody who you don't share a sense of stability with. There's no celebration here. So I feel like this is somebody coming into you, not somebody you necessarily have in your life right now. Okay, so tell me more about this journey. Thank you. Page of Swords. Yeah, you're still learning. This is a student card. There is a sense of like watching, waiting, gathering information. She has got the sword up, so there's something to do with communication here, or some action that needs to be taken. But just be aware that you're showing it with two page energies, two young energies. So there is a sense of a lot of learning still left to be done in this area. Tell me why the Page of Swords is here. You need to learn how to avoid conflict. You need to learn how to not let fights or battles or arguments affect you. You need to learn how to, like the comic, it was saying the comic is very, very intelligent because they can look at things from a higher perspective. They can take themselves out of the situation and look at things objectively. So the Page of Swords can also do this. So yeah, you're not. You need to leave You need to leave the battle. You need to leave the drama behind. You need to not get involved. You need to find the inner equilibrium so that when stuff is happening around you, you can stand firm. You're actually showing as the Empress on the bottom here. So you've got you've got three cards here now. The Womb, the Empress, the High Priestess. The High Priestess and the Empress are the two most powerful feminine energies in the tarot. So again, you can identify as male and still be an Empress energy. It just means it's very nurturing, it's very embracing it. There's unconditional love and expansion with the Empress. So you may have a lot of feminine placements in your chart. It's interesting. I've got, I think, out of 10 signs, out of 10 placements, 9 of my placements are masculine. So I identify as feminine. I am very, very girly, but I've got a lot of masculine energy in my chart. So it's looking at it in this way. You may have a lot of feminine energy in your chart if you identify as male or other. So yeah, but it's talking about, there's something here to do with unconditional love, very calm, very mothering, very nurturing, very giving, supportive, beautiful energy for you. And not getting into battles, not getting into fights, not getting into arguments, not kicking off, and seeing the funny side of situations, not getting stuck in your head. And this is leading you to happiness and like the best possible feminine energy that you could possibly be. So do take that as it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. And I'm going to get you an advice card from this deck. Now this is the Akashic Tarot by Sharon Ann Killinger and Sandra Ann Taylor. I don't know why I'm being asked to use this deck for you today, but I just kept on seeing it. So here we go. You're getting a little bit extra, Leo. No charge. It's just because I like you, Leo. You're one of my favourite signs. So, you know, I'm joking. It's just literally, they were like, use another deck. Give them advice cards from this deck. And I was like, right, okay, fine. Do as I'm told. King of Keys and the Queen of Forces. Okay, interesting pairing you've got there. The King of Keys then. Who is the King of Keys for you? King of Keys, where are you? So this could be two different sides of yourself. It could be different people in your life. You could be one, the other could be someone else. It's funny because Aries got a Dua Lipa song, I Could Be the One. I see the moon when you're looking at the sun. So it's funny that you've got that as well. And you had all those Aries songs. Could definitely have Aries placement or be dealing with an Aries. Right, let's go because I'm getting tired. Okay, I stopped and restarted if you saw that. It's just to give myself an extra couple of minutes for the reading. The King of Keys. The King of Keys rides a splendid horse towards a great castle in the distance. He is happy and at ease as he travels home. This is an entrepreneurial man with a civil or commercial authority. He is confident, astute, and perhaps overly focused on his work or career. I feel like this is this energy, whoever this is for you. overly focused on his work or career. Though he can be very thoughtful and helpful to you in business or financial matters, he is often more goal-orientated than people-orientated. Keep this in mind if this man turns out to be a love interest for you or another. When the King of Keys represents you or another, be on the lookout for a major promotion, a heightening of income, or a furthering of career achievements. Careers in finance, real estate, and business are typical for the King of Keys, but management in any industry can be forthcoming. This may also be a good time for self-employment and business expansion for you or for a man in your life. Take it as it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. Queen of Forces, let's have a quick look. This feels more like your energy. I have to say, I feel like the Queen, because I'm reading for you, I'm reading for your story, Leo, and you're coming through with quite a lot of feminine energy here, no matter if you identify as he, she, or they. I feel like this Emperor is somebody external from you, possibly a father figure, or like somebody in business, right, who can open doors for you. But they're not really in their emotions. They're maybe a little bit cold, very businesslike. This feels like more your energy, but again, it could be someone else that you're dealing with. So take anything that resonates there, leave anything that doesn't. It may just be for somebody else, right? It's a general reading. You don't have to force anything to fit. This card shows a woman balancing the energies of a sun in one hand and a moon in the other, with a river flowing between her feet. The Queen of Forces represents a woman who can help to bring greater balance to your life. That's what you're searching for. She brings an unusual combination of power and peace, creativity and receptivity in both her energy and her support. Sometimes this card can represent a person in your life, either you or another, coming into a phase of great power and an ability to sustain it with wonderful results. Well, this is what you're aiming for, Empress, High Priestess energy, right? There is a gift of grace and serene understanding when this card is upright. It also brings new roles and opportunities. Careers in many of the sciences, global communication, nature, and energy may now be available to you. The Queen of Forces could also indicate the appearance of a possible love interest or an associate in business or in a creative project who has a powerful influence and connections for you or for another. It may be someone you know or somebody new, but when this card appears, there is a tender yet powerful support. During this time, choose to support yourself as well. You hold the forces of the sun, creativity, and the moon, receptivity, and only you yourself can direct the energy of your eternal life. This is this person then. This isn't you, this is this person, I think. This person who has the balance, right? So you've got a King of Keys who can help you, but they're very practical. You have a Queen of Forces who can help you, who is very balanced. Again, if this is a love interest for you, it's a love interest for you. But this could also be somebody who is very balanced and who prioritizes love. And they're very grounded, they're very solid, they're dependable, but they're quite slow moving. Right, I hope that was helpful to you. Take anything that resonated there, leave anything that didn't, and I will see you again soon, Leo. Leave me a like if you liked, share it with your friends if you think it's their story, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye. I don't know why I did that, maybe because I had the thing with my lips at the beginning of the reading. I give you kisses.